Okay, so we're going to start standing today. And like I said, I only have something to, like a little riser that's going to elevate my head when I'm lying down, because that's a little bit better for me. If you need some kind of support like that, please grab a pillow or something, maybe for some sideline, and then we're going to get you started here, okay? So let's first start facing kind of toward the end of the mat. We're going to start to breathe here with your heels in line with the sit bones. You're going to just try find that nice tall posture and just start to breathe here. Inhale into the lower parts of your lungs. Exhale. And as I said, today we will be talking about that kind of opposition and what that creates in your body, right? Push and pull kind of feeling, resistance, and how that creates inside the resistance, how you can create stability, endurance, balance in your body, okay? So let's just breathe through that. Inhale. Now let's start by creating that opposition. So I want you to think of pushing your feet into the floor and then reaching your crown of the head toward the ceiling. So just think about that opposing power. So your gravity is pulling you down, right? And we're gonna push the floor away. So really kind of fire your glutes a little bit, inner thighs, make sure your knees are nice locked. And just think about reaching crown of the head away from your heels, right? So just you feel that nice elongation through the back of the body, how that creates stability as soon as you create that resistance, right? And then exhale. So just standing here without using any kind of musculature, right? Feels okay, but then as soon as you start to elongate, pressing the heels down, through the heel, through the ball of the foot, I'm actually pressing into the big toe ball and outside of my heel, creating that little arch support. And that fires my glutes, inner thighs, and my crown of the head is reaching toward the ceiling, kind of elongates my neck. I feel all of the muscles right along my spine sort of fire a little bit. They wake up and they keep you nice and long. You're actually taller in the morning. And exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale as you lift off. So almost like you're really getting stretched in the opposing direction. And release. All right, so now we're gonna start by doing a little roll down. Now, how we're gonna do the roll down, I want you to imagine as you're going down, you're going to engage your abdominals, like you're gonna push as if you're pushing something really kind of trying to compress something with your arms. You're gonna nod the chin. And then when you're pressing something, compressing with the arms, really use your abdominals to resist that pull forward, that flexion forward. So as if you're pressing down with the arms, but your abdominals are really lifting you up, okay? So that you create that resistance through your body and really lifting through the abdominals, stretching the back, right? And then we exhale, now nice and easy. Use your quads, use your glutes. All those muscles are lifting you up against that gravity, right? So inhale again, exhale, nod the chin. Now really try to imagine your front, your abdominals are kind of resisting that you fall forward here, okay? So that you really get that nice little flexion through the spine. And then use your arms. Think about pressing a little bit down, lifting through the arms. Go as far down as you can. If you need to soften your knees, that's fine. Exhale, and then really lift, lift, lift. Back is lifting. You feel those back muscles lifting you up to tall. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Here we go. Core is resisting that we fall forward, right? And then we press down with the arms. So engagement, maybe a little bit of lat there. Press down. Now here, I want you to bend your knees, drop your tailbone down. Now lift your head to a neutral spine here. So you can drop down as far as you want. Tailbone down, chest is up, so head is higher than your hips. Okay, inhale here, float those arms to the side. Now straighten your knees. Keep that nice long spine. See how that back muscles are now resisting that you fall forward, right? That you fall down. And then you're gonna exhale, use your glutes now. That's what's helping you come up to tall, right? Let's do that one more time. Inhale as we nod the chin. Arms, you can kind of keep your arms sort of your hands flat, like you push something down, compressing into the floor. Abdominals lifting, pressing down. Now we soften those knees. Bring the tailbone down lower than your chest so that you do kind of like a squat position. Now engage your scapular muscles. Bring your arms to a T, and then exhale, straighten those legs to the best of your ability, right? Now back muscles, do you feel how they're holding you up? And now you're going to fire your glutes because that's hip extension. Glutes are pulling that pelvis back up to neutral. And then you're going to bring your arms down. Good. All right, let's start here then. One more time in our nice facing forward position. And we're going to do our little squat here. So now inhale, push the floor away, but keep going down. So I want you to think that same opposing action that we talked about, crown of the head reaching away from the heels, and then you go down and press up. So just arms off the side and down and press through the heels. So keep growing taller. Even though you're going down, you keep going taller, right? Resist the gravity. And down and press through those heels. Down and press. And down and press. Down, press. One more, down and press. Just a little warm up, right? Bring your arms up. Okay, so now if we didn't have those delts, what would happen, right? So use the deltoid muscles right here, right? On your top of the shoulder, we're lifting the arms up. Arms straight. Let's work a little bit through those shoulder stabilizers. So just moving the shoulders forward and back. We're protracting and retracting just to warm you up here. Warming up the shoulder girdle. Make sure you're not going up toward the ears. So the resistance is coming from the top, right? So they're doing a lot of work here, right? And bring it back to neutral. Alrighty, now let's bring your arms up. Now we're going up, up, up overhead. Not as much resistance, right? And then down. Exhale. This is the most resistance right here, right? Torque at the shoulder. And then as you go up, there's less resistance, right? Keep your ribs together. Exhale, up and lower down. One more time, lift and lower down. Okay, you're gonna bring your arms here by your side, palms forward. Now we're gonna add a little resistance here. So you can see me from this side maybe. Okay, now what I want you to do is imagine you're pushing something away from you. So you're gonna press through the arms, press forward. That should engage your abdominals. You know, inhale, pull like you're pulling through molasses, you're pulling your elbows back. Exhale, press, push it away. Whatever that is, imagine something really pushing away and then pulling back. Those elbows reach back like you're pulling through molasses, the arms. Forward and back and forward and back and forward and pull and push. Feeling the resistance without anything in your hands, right? You can create quite a bit of muscular resistance here just by imagining that you're pressing something away and pulling it back. Watch you don't poke your ribs out, right? Pull back, press forward, pull back, press forward, and pull back. And then bring your arms down. That gets quite a bit of work, right, into those delts too. Okay, okay. Heels in line with the sit bones. We're gonna do our little side bend. Let's see how that creates resistance, right? So you're going to first bring this arm up, bring your right arm up, push up like you're trying to resist something falling on your head. Now watch that your shoulder doesn't hike. We really don't wanna do that. So let's just practice that a couple times. You exhale, push it, push it, push it, or you're reaching, you're lifting something up, you wanna put it up on top of a shelf. Good, now create that resistance, right? Now the other arm is down by your hip. Let's go over, exhale. Really keep that resistance going and back up. Exhale and press. Now, which muscles are trying to keep you from falling sideways? These muscles right on the side of your waist here. Exhale and up. Exhale and up. One more time. Exhale and up. Bring that arm down. Let's go the other side. You're going to press like you're trying to keep something from falling on top of your head. And or you're going to press up, put something up on a very high shelf, right? So press, it's kind of heavy, right? Imagine being heavy. Resist. Find these muscles here right on the side. Exhale, we go over. Maybe you want to push something over, right? Exhale, push. Now these muscles are working really hard. Now you're really kind of stretching here, right? Exhale. Now most of the resistance is from this side, right? Exhale. And one more. And bring the arm down. Okay, let's keep your a little bit more for the lower body. Okay, heels are a little bit wider maybe. We're going to do side to side weight transference, okay? So now we're nice and centered, gravity through the center of your body, right? Okay, so maybe wider stance, a little bit wider than the hip. What I want you to do is just go nice and easy side, one side, feel how that shifts weight right on top of that left. I'm going to my left, right? So line up the joints, come back up, exhale, come back up, and side. Just try to feel where is resistance as you're switching your weight over, right? This is the least resistance here, and then we switch. Now, what I want you to do, as you go over onto your, I'm going to my right, push, so push with the left, and really try to keep this pushing to the right as well. Keep that nice resistance on both legs. This one is trying to pull you over, this one is stopping you. See how that creates resistance, right? Now, up again. Try, imagine like you're skating almost, right? Up, and this is actually from our reformer workout. It is called a skating exercise. So I want you to think there's a moving carriage, or maybe you're skating and you're holding with your side that you're bending into and you're pushing with the other leg. That creates quite a bit of resistance. Try not to side bend, so you can really put your hands on your hips. Your body is straight, your torso is straight, does not rotate. Side to side, and side to side, and side to side. Really create that resistance. Don't just go side to side, just swinging. You need to push both feet, right? And side to side. Good. And that kind of gets your glutes working too, right? Alrighty. So now that we warmed you up standing, let's go down onto the floor. And like I said, if you need something under your head, please use it, all right? That puts me, or maybe actually let's start without anything under your head. And I want you to feel feel your body, okay? So if you had nothing under you, right, you'd be just free fall. But since you do, which body parts are really heavy on the mat, right? So I want you to feel that. I feel that my chest is not as heavy, actually, my upper back, because I have a little extension going on. And you just want to feel your sacrum probably heavy. All right, now feel where those heavy parts are, right? Your arms are resting. They're not as heavy, but they are. Your sacrum should weigh a lot of weight here. Your low back should be lifted. All right, low back is not touching. Your midsection, your rib cage is touching as well. That should be pretty heavy, and your head as well. But sometimes when you have too much, okay, either flexion or extension, those parts are not really touching. So I want you to take the pillow or something you have and put your head there and see how that changes the weight. Where does the weight fall now? For me, now it actually falls really heavy on the rib cage where it should, and my sacrum. So we're going to start here, okay? Inhale here. Now exhale. I want you to tip your pelvis towards you. Create that little pelvic tilt. As you do that, use your abdominals, right? Now the weight is more in your low back. It shouldn't be there in neutral, but now we are actually creating that, right? Inhale, exhale, and pelvic tilt. One more time. Exhale. Okie dokie. Now let's stay in that neutral position. Weight really heavy on the sacrum, right? Rib cage is heavy as well. Bring your arms up Exhale, go with the arms overhead. And then bring your arms down. Inhale, arms to ceiling, palms toward each other. Exhale, overhead and down. Does it change the weight in your rib cage as you go with your arms overhead? So your midsection in your ribs should be connected with the mat the entire time. As the arms go overhead, try not to lose that weight in the rib cage, right? That's the weight of your gravity pulling you down, and that's where it should be. Exhale. And one more time, exhale. Good, now bring your arms down. Good, keeping the neutral pelvis, or you can imprint if you need to, pulling now more weight in that mid-low back, right? Bring your right leg up, bring your left leg up. Inhale here. Now weight should be really heavy, right? On that midsection, right? On your back, maybe a little bit of sacrum, but not as much sacrum. It should be really in your low back now, especially if you're in imprint. If you're in neutral, yes, sacrum big time. That's where gravity is holding you, right? Exhale, tap the right. Exhale, tap the left. Try to maintain that weight wherever you have it. If you're in imprint, it should be that low back, really holding all that tension, holding stability, right, for your lumbar spine. Exhale down and tap. One more time, tap. Legs together, and then bring your legs down. All right, bring your arms towards you by the side. Maybe you already have. Inhale here. I want you to nod the chin a little bit. Now let's see how we transfer that weight. Maybe you're still in neutral. You should be neutral with your feet down. Exhale. Now we're going to stabilize the head, and you're going to use your ribs to lift you up. Arms float up, shoulder height, shoulders are wide. Inhale. Where do you feel the weight? So the weight should be mostly felt in the midsection, right? Head is also, your neck is feeling it, but it shouldn't be too much on the neck, because the head is sitting more or less on top of your shoulders with as little resistance from gravity as we can create here. That's the idea. And then we lower down. Inhale, exhale, up. Look down through your legs. That's how you're going to minimize the weight of the gravity on your neck, right? Head and neck. And then lower back down. Now let's see what happens if we put our hands behind our head. All right, so you're going to elongate the neck. You can even give your head a little bit of a pull there. Shoulders wide, neutral pelvis, up. Inhale here. Now the head feels good, right? Your neck should be relaxed, but your abdominals are feeling that pull from a little more weight of your arms, right? And then lower back down. Inhale, exhale. Breathe here. Lower back down. One more time, exhale as you lift and lower back down. Arms can be off the side, this time to a T. You can imprint the spine, bring right leg up, left leg up. Legs together, squeezing inner thighs. We're going to now go sideways. Let's see what the gravity does there. As we exhale, we reach your knees to the left. Feel that pull of gravity on your knees that creates that torque on your waist, right? So you can breathe here. And then exhale as you pull the legs up. Inhale, see how the transference of weight, as soon as those knees go out the side, your waistline is working really hard, right? Because the gravity is pulling your knees down. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Which muscles are really holding here? Should be those oblique muscles, your waistline really a lot. Also the inner thigh of the bottom leg, right? Exhale. So all these different muscles have to stabilize. What's your shoulder doing too? Is your rib cage nicely firmly down? That's also something that's going to create more stability. Exhale and bring it up, and then bring your arms down. Okay, now let's go on your side a little bit. So we're still in the kind of a stretchy phase here. Alrighty, so here we go. 90-90 at the hip and the knee. If you have a pillow, it will help you with your neck position. Lift your arms in the front together. Okay, inhale, lift the arm to ceiling. Exhale, now see how now gravity is pulling that arm. Boy, that arm feels really heavy, right? I wonder how much it actually weighs. And then if you can lower it down all the way onto the floor, breathe here. Give yourself a little stretch if you can. If you cannot, you might feel a lot of pull. You're holding a pretty heavy arm here, right? Now let's use those abdominals again. Exhale and we pull it back. So this is really pure kind of oblique work here, stretching the front. We're just stretching, right? So stretch it up, but also your back of the arm. If your arm is holding up, if you cannot lower it, what's really working here? It's the back side of your arm, right? And then use your abdominals to pull the arm back. Okay, let's go the other side. So laying on your side. Really heavy on that side, right? That's where the weight is. So the top of the body is working harder, right? Exhale as you follow that hand, getting heavier and heavier. Good. And then you can, if you can lower it down, that's great. If you cannot, that's fine. You actually are going to get quite a bit of stretch, but also the work. Feel that bottom arm resisting, right? And then exhale forward. I know that you might feel that your top of the arm is resisting, but that's just really getting length. And it is kind of an isometric hold here. If your arm is lifted, so all of the muscles are working. Inhale, but then we actively use our muscles in the waistline to bring yourself back from rotation, right? Let's do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Turn around onto your back. Let's do our hundreds. Okay, I'm gonna keep my head lifted because that helps me bring my rib cage a little bit heavier and that weighs me down a little bit better. So I'm gonna bring your arms. This is a nice little modification. You're gonna feel different things working. You will have an option to keep your feet down with your spine in neutral. If you want it imprint, bring your legs up. Inhale, nod the chin, stabilize that neck. Exhale, bring your arms out. Now, instead of pulsing both arms, I want you to alternate. Inhale, exhale, inhale, one up, one down. Now, I want you to think what's happening here. Your body wants to go side to side. It wants to tilt. Now, if you go slower, if you go faster, sorry, you might not feel as much resistance, but if you go a little bit wider and a little bit faster, you're gonna feel how your right and left side are alternating, trying to stabilize you from tilting sideways, right? I'm not breathing. I mean, I'm not counting here, I am breathing. I'm not counting. We should be getting to maybe a 60 here. Inhale, exhale. Feel that pull sideways. Exhale. Oh, this gets into my abs big time. Oblique work, right? It's your muscles are stabilizing you in the center as you pulse alternating arms. Exhale. Let's do one more big inhale. And exhale. Hold here. Whoa. Now that 100 does something different for me. You feel that resistance. I love the feel of that resistance. Let's go on your stomach. Now, if you're on your stomach and your arms are down, your legs are slightly apart, your arms are off the side, let's say your head is down, so you feel weight of your forehead on the floor, right? And then you should be feeling, well, your pelvis is heavy, right? Your arms are heavy. Your chest is heavy, right? If you cannot feel your chest, I would suggest you put a little pillow under your rib cage or maybe under your pelvis, okay? That's gonna allow you to weigh your chest down. Alrighty, so exhale, just feeling that weight. If you cannot feel your chest weighing down, that means you have a little bit of kyphosis. Just lift the pelvis up. It's gonna allow you to create relaxation through the shoulders and to be able to extend the spine, which is what we want. So inhale here, slide the shoulders down. Let's work that gravity, right? Against gravity. Lift the head. Now what lifted the head here first? Let's do that again. Head is down. Relax the shoulders and the neck. Now as the shoulders stabilize away from the ears, now you're gonna use your neck muscles. Feel how neck has to work hard to lift that head up. Head is 1/7 of your body weight. Remember, it's pretty heavy. Now let's see if we can lift the chest against the gravity. Pubic bone down, right? All of the parts. We're gonna lift the shoulders and the head and chest with the bottom rib now being our point here, connection with the mat, right? Inhale here, look at the edge of the mat. Exhale as you elongate back down. Slide the shoulders. Exhale as you lift, reaching the chest forward, but looking at the edge of the mat, right? Glutes are working, elongate your low back. Don't let it go into your low back. So a little bit of pull from the abdominals helps with that. You should feel that weight kind of in the pelvis. My pubic bone is real heavy on the mat. And then exhale as you lower down. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Inhale here. Now let's see what happens if we float the right arm. Where is your weight now? It should be on your right hip, right? Is it right or left? Probably right hip. What happens if you push your left leg down? Push the left foot a little bit into the floor. See how that weight transfers, elongate your low back, and then come back down. Alrighty, so let's do that again. See how the stabilization, different muscles are working to stabilize your body, right? Inhale, slide those shoulders. Exhale, use the neck. Right, resist the gravity. Upper mid back is lifting you up. Now let's float the left arm. Exhale, left arm floats. Weight in the left hip. Push the right foot a little down if you can. See how that creates a little resistance and stability, right? Instead of lifting the leg, push it down. And then lengthen back down. But that's a lot of work, right? Now let's bring those arms by the side. All right, palms are in. Now let's lift the head and neck. Keep it lifted. Shoulders can be rounded. Feel how the weight of the gravity weight pulls your shoulders forward, right? Now we're going to inhale, use the muscles around our shoulder blades and that top of the shoulder to bring the arms, to bring the shoulders up and widen the collarbone. And then you're going to reach back. Arms can be wider than the hips. Breathe here at the top. And then relax your shoulders. Keep your head lifted. Your neck's working hard here, guys. Okay, chest should be heavy on the mat. Inhale, lift the arms. Use the back of the shoulder, right? So shoulder blades kind of a little bit pulled toward each other. And then as we exhale, we reach back. Now we got those muscles working against gravity in all different planes, right? Inhale. And then rest back. Relax the shoulders one more time. Really make your shoulders heavy. See that difference. See how the gravity is really just pulling your arms down. And then you lift the shoulders, feel widening the collarbone, reach back like a torpedo. Also resist the gravity to reach crown of the head away from the toes. Elongate that low back. Make sure that it's not crunchy. Inhale, so pubic bone heavy, chest is heavy, right? Everything else. So if you were to float your legs, there may be kind of two main points of contact with the mat, right? And then lower back down. Push back onto your heels. Give yourself a nice little shelf stretch. Abdominals pulling in. Yeah, a lot to actually work here, right? All right, let's go onto your sit back on the mat. On your sit bones. Nice and tall. Feet, heels in line with the sit bones. And now let's see how that gravity changes also as we roll back, okay? So your heels in line with the sit bones. Our goal is to keep the feet in contact with the mat, right? Arms are in the front, shoulders, shoulder height. Now, feeling sit bones really heavy. If you are right on top of your sit bones, that's where you should feel resistance. It's pulling you straight down. If you're leaning forward, you will feel, well, maybe a little bit less on the sit bones, right? If you're leaning backwards, you definitely will feel less. If your shoulders are leaned back, right? So let's just nice against the resistance, right? No resistance at this point. Your bones are taking all of the weight. Exhale now. Here we go. Exhale. We're going to tip the pelvis. Start to transfer the weight. Tip the pelvis. Use your abdominals as you start to roll back. Now, pretty heavy here with the knees bent, right? You have your abdominals pulling, creating resistance against that gravity. It's going higher, right? The gravity is higher. It's no longer on the sit bones, right? Inhale, stay around as you pull forward. And then stack the spine. All right, so let's feel how that weight transfers where you have to work, right? And then we're gonna add the feet. One more time, just the upper body. Exhale, tilt the pelvis. Bring the hips and ribs closer. Roll back. See how the gravity is going higher. Now it's kind of right at that bottom of my rib cage. My shoulders are still, my head is on top, so it's trying to minimize the weight. Top of my shoulders. If my head was backwards, it would make it heavier. And then inhale, pull forward, stack the spine. Now let's add the counterweight. See how that can help you. to stabilize you, right? So exhale, pulling back. We're tipping the pelvis. As you do that, start to straighten your legs. See how that eases off, maybe the weight, heels digging through, or heels are reaching through that mat. Back here, and then inhale, pull the heels in, sit up tall. Let's do that again. Exhale as you roll back, legs straighten out, a little less weight, right, for the upper body to work. And then inhale, drag those heels in. One more time, exhale. The arms are helping too, right? The arms are away from you as counterweight. Good. If the arms were here, which we're going to do now let's see how we have to work against that. Arms at the chest. Now we're going to stay tall and long. We're not going to roll. We're going to hinge. Heels are going to stay in this position. Knees are going to stay in this position. Exhale as you hinge back. Watch that you're like a plank as you hinge back. Boy, that's a lot of work, right? It's actually maybe a little bit less work, almost feels like it, right? And then up. Exhale, because you're not as far maybe off those sit bones as you are when you roll the pelvis. Exhale, so gravity is kind of hitting maybe right at that hip hinge, right? And then up. Now let's add the legs. Exhale as we straighten the legs. Inhale as we pull it in. Exhale, see how the weight transfers. Definitely, you know, your hip flexors might be working here. One more time. Exhale, and really stay long. Stay really wrapped around the midsection, and then come back up. Alrighty, and let's just open your legs a little bit out to the side. Give those hip flexors a break. Now we're just going to use the weight of the gravity. Think what's happening here. If you can place the soles of the feet together, okay, sitting right on your sit bones in your neutral pelvis, right? And then allow the weight to kind of pull your knees down. Okay, the weight of the knees, weight of, there we go. And then just getting a little stretch here, and then pull the legs together. We're going to lengthen the body and lie down all the way. Okay, and now keep your body really heavy here and long. Now again, one more time, let's feel the weight of our body pressing, or the weight of the gravity pulling the body down. You should be your shoulders, your sacrum is really heavy. If you feel like your chest does not have enough contact, take that pillow and put it under your head. Okay, now you should be really nicely stable here. Now let's push that left heel down, lift the right leg straight up. Alrighty, so the weight transferred from one hip to the other a little bit, right? Not so much in the center of that sacrum, maybe more on the left side. That's the side that's going to work, right? Arms are down, we're gonna circle midline and out. Circle the leg. Inhale. Notice which muscles are working, right? Obviously your leg muscles are working as you're circling, right? And try not to pull across or forward. So we're working muscles around your hips, around your hip joints, but inner thighs, outer hips, but more so muscles of your waist, right? So that you feel that weight in the left hip holding you down, stabilizing. And shoulders should be relaxed, even though they are also holding, right? The weight of that gravity is falling right around that those shoulder blades and the rib cage, and then switching direction. Exhale, resisting, flopping like in a big heap, right? And then bend the knee and then switch sides. Take this straight, the other arm, other leg straight up. Now again, feeling that transfer. So let's put the leg down. You should feel right in the middle of your sacrum in the back. Now, as you lift that leg, that weight transfers, right? A little bit onto the right side, and we go, resisting the gravity from pulling the leg sideways. Exhale, and your hips, see which side is more able to keep the hip down, right? All of us, most of us have a stronger side, right? So this is my weaker side, so it tends to kind of swing around a little bit because I don't have enough strength to hold that down, but that's why we're doing this. And switching, and exhale, try to relax the upper body, and resist. Everything else is working to stabilize you, right? That's how we create nice neutral, as neutral body as possible in Pilates. That's what our aim is. So we don't have to fight gravity as we walk about in our daily life, right? And then you're gonna bend that knee. Let's go come up to seated position, okay? So imagine, right? Oh, let's take your pillow or whatever you have. If you need it, you can sit up on it. So why are we doing this? Let's actually take a little test of this. If we're sitting on the floor, right, with your legs straight, for a spine twist. Spine twist is assuming that you are in neutral position, you don't have tension in your hamstrings, low back, so that you can actually use your obliques, right? Well, sometimes that's not possible if we're pulled forward, if we have a lot of tension, right? So where should the weight be? Weight should be really on your sit bones, right? I have a little anterior tilt, so for me, it's easier if I bend my knees here, right? Now I feel weight on my sit bones. If I do this, the weight is on the front of my sit bones, but it should be really in the center, okay? And that's your stability. Now you can really use, or if you sit on something higher up, now you're really free to do your spine twist, right? So we are isolating muscle groups. Arms up to side. Okay, arms are holding up against the resistance of gravity again, and we're spiraling up. 3, 2, 1, right? So everything is working here, right? Our spinal muscles are working to keep us nice and sitting upright so we don't fall forward or just down in a heap. Exhale, 3 and 2 and 1. Keep your wingspan wide, arms up, palms down, 2, 1. Relax your legs. So try not to push into your feet. Okay, so sometimes we do that. We kind of cheat ourselves out of this beautiful opportunity to use our abdominal muscles to rotate, right? And 3 and 2 and 1. So relaxing hip flexors. If you need to do that by making frog legs, you can do that too, if that allows you to not cheat, but use those muscles. And 3 and 2, ring it up like you're wringing a towel, and then bring your arms down. Okay, let's take that. If you have a pillow, put it off the side. And now let's feel that rolling like a ball. Rolling like a ball is fun, right? You feel how gravity is pulling you backwards. So first you're gonna find those sit bones and you're gonna roll off the sit bones. Okay, so the gravity should be really kind of tailbone area. Okay, so you're just off those sit bones, maybe a little bit on your tailbone. You're gonna pull the knees in, exhale, hips and ribs closer. And now let's let the gravity pull us backwards. And then exhale, we use our abdominal muscles to come back up. Remember, you be conservative on the first one. You don't have to go all the way back. Exhale, and inhale. See how the weight transfers? Isn't that fun? So if you were like a little saucer, I know if we didn't have to use our muscles, we'd be kind of, you know, how the saucer does when you, or some kind of a ball, you would just stop eventually. For us, it doesn't work quite as easy. We have to use our muscles to work against gravity so that we can be nice and neutral most of the time. Exhale and exhale. Center of the spine, right? Like a ball. Inhale. This is fun, right? Feel the gravity go to your shoulder blades and then back right around that tailbone. One more time. Exhale. All right. Now come back onto this that starting position. You're gonna straighten the left leg, pull the right knee in, and then lower yourself down. Right, outside arm to the ankle, inside to the knee, and then we switch. And we switch. Lots of gravity here, right? Working against gravity, many muscles, right? So your abdominals are holding you up, upper body. So that rectus abdominis is working. Glutes are working as the leg straightens out, because you don't want to just swap the leg down, right? And pull, pull. But most of the work is right in your core here. If you have to lower your head down, that's fine. Now you're going to be still working in your abdominals, but not as much. And exhale. fine. We all have our points, right, of strength, and we get there stronger. Get hands behind your head, and let's continue with rotation. Now we're adding an extra challenge to those rotational muscles. Exhale, exhale. We're not only moving against the front, okay, so we're going sideways by rotating your hips, right? Exhale, and exhale, and exhale one more time, and exhale, legs together, and legs up. Now let's go our scissors, pull, pull. Your head and shoulders can be up or down, your choice. Now definitely gravity is pulling the leg down. So really use that glute as the leg wants to drop down. And exhale, 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 and exhale. Legs together, bend those knees, place the feet down. All right, let's do a little bridging here. Inhale here. Now weight at the sacrum and the shoulders. Let's transfer that weight. Where is the weight now? It's right on top of your shoulders, but then you're working hard so that you don't drop down, right? So your gluteals are working hard to keep you in this position. Abdominals are working hard so that your pelvis doesn't do any of the crazy funky stuff that we sometimes do, which is tilting or arching. Inhale, so both muscles on top and bottom are working to keep you in this long position. And then we lengthen back down. Inhale. You can press down with the arm a little bit, create that little resistance. Just try not to round your shoulders, they should be wide. So a little bit of reaching for the fingertips. And then lower down. One more time, exhale. Weight is in your feet. All right, let's pick up your feet. Pick up your heels, sorry. Heels up, heels down, and up, and down. Does that create more or less resistance? Probably more, right? So you're on the ball of the foot, right? And then lower down, transferring the weight. Down and up, down and up, down and up. Lower those heels, bring your pelvis down. Lots of work for the glutes, hopefully. Exhale. Now let's transfer the weight. Let's transfer the weight into your left foot. Bring that right hip a little bit up. So think about that connection. Press the left foot, bring the right hip up. Those muscles are going to try to keep your hips level as you pick up your right foot. And then you lower down, point up. So see the difference. See what's really holding you against that gravity, right? Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. One more, exhale, inhale. Bend that knee, place the foot down. Push into your right heel. Lift the left hip up a little bit. Lift it up. And now pick up the leg. That might keep you in that neutral position. Otherwise, the left hip wants to drop down, right? So we're really using that beautiful cross work, right? Our muscles, our obliques are trying to keep your pelvis in that beautiful neutral position, and your glutes as well. And up, bend the knee, place the foot down, lower your hips down, pull the knees into your chest, roll the sacrum out. Roll up into a seated position and onto your forwards. We're coming toward the end of our workout. Woo. A little bit different today, right? Okay, so knees in line with the hips. Your wrists are under your shoulders. Creases of elbows face each other. Make sure that is working. Elongate the neck. See how the gravity is now pulling you down. So I want you to think which muscles are working. Alrighty, so first, let's just feel weight in the hands, and then you shift your weight back. Now the weight is not so much in your hands, right? So you could, if you feel like this is too much weight in your hands, you could either walk your knees back or walk your hands forward. Now let's stay here, tuck your toes. Inhale, now exhale, lift that booty up. Stay in neutral position in your spine, and then lift up. Where is that work? It's your abdominals, right? Abdominals from slumping down, right? And then lower. Okay, so if my arms were overhead, my weight would be more in my rib cage, right? You see that difference? And then if my arms are in line with the shoulder, now the weight is a little bit more toward my belly button, right? That midsection. Inhale. One more time, lift that midsection up and then float those knees. Now weight is in your hands, but it's also a lot in your core. And down. And I want you to do one more here, which you're gonna do elbow planks to think about which muscles are working. And I know we love these planks, right? Legs together all the way, so you're on your knees. Press your hips down, find the plank, lift that upper back away from the mat, elongate the neck, light in your hands, weight in those elbows, right? Now, abdominals in, fire those inner thighs and glutes. See if you can lift those knees up and just stay in that plank. Now, what's working really here? It's your front, right? Well, everything is really working, but the front is working really hard so you don't slump down, right? And then you're gonna lower the knees. Now, here's a food for thought. If you already have tight hip flexors, this is gonna put a lot of strain on your hip flexors. They make them work really hard. So if I were you, I wouldn't hold the plank for like 3 minutes. Hold the knees down, walk yourself back, and then take a big breath. Push that floor away, create that resistance. Reach the tail of the tailbone away from your crown of the head, away from your fingers. So really get that sense of elongation through the spine. Breathe. Now slowly stack up onto your knees, just on your knees. Good. Put your hands on your booty. Put your hands on your booty. Let's open the hip flexors a little bit since we did work them, right? Draw the shoulders down and back. Weight is right in top of those knees. Exhale. Now I'm going to push my hips a little bit forward. I'm not going to arch my back. I'm actually dropping almost like I'm dropping my tailbone down, and I'm leaning back. My shoulders are back. You can bring the elbows closer. Open the whole front here. Breathe. And then come back up. If you want, you can even slide your arms down. Exhale. Just be careful you don't go into your low back, right? We're opening the front here. And then come back to neutral. Put your hands down. Okay, now on your ball of the foot. So walk your hands back. Exhale. As you exhale, let's do a little bit of bounce here. So just stretch the back of the leg. And I just feel that gravity pull. I love this. All right, light on the hands, mostly on the ball of the foot. Now you're going to slowly start to lift up, lower your heels down, straighten the legs, drop the crown of the head. Nice stretch here. Let's feel that gravity pull again. Don't use your abdominals here. I just want you to stretch out a little bit as much as you can. Then as you exhale, I want you to soften the knees, start to lift your head, drop your tail, lift your arms, and then come back up to tall. And that's our work today for our resistance push and pull work.